What's up, guys? Welcome to the LTC Bowling Show, where today we're going to talk a little bit about the IQ Tour Pearl Emerald and that new Motiv ball, the VIP by the EJ Motiv VIP, whatever you want to call it. The VIP, that's what it is. It's just the VIP, and it's got EJ's logo on it. The EJX, I believe it looks like there, which is pretty cool, pretty neat. A little kind of coincidence with Bowler X because there is a special. Goodness, my boy. I think he just hacked all over himself. But special coincidence there with EJ and Bowler X here, where we get to work with him a little bit and show a little support for the Epilepsy Foundation. For every bowling ball that we sell that is the VIP, all the profits are going over to the Epilepsy Foundation. And everybody that buys one of these EJ VIPs, they get a shirt, an EJ shirt, as well as a autographed card from EJ himself. So pretty neat little thing to going on there to help out a pretty good cause there. His brother actually has epilepsy, and he got into a car accident not that long ago because of it. And so they've, been changing his medication up and stuff. And so really just trying to find a cure, really trying to figure out, how to get these kids and, these people a little bit better to be able to live life a little bit more normal, throughout their days, so that way they don't have to worry about having any attacks or any episodes. So we're trying to help out as much as we can. So make sure to head over to bowlerx.com and get your Motiv VIP by EJ here today. But today, actually, we did a few of the reviews. You probably haven't seen the reviews yet. I don't think I've posted them on YouTube yet. But we're going to talk a little bit about what we saw out of the VIP versus like the IQ Tour Emerald, and we actually took it up against the Trend as well. So we had three very good symmetrical balls that we could take up against each other. Now the only difference was the Trend had a little bit different layout. The Trend had a 5.5-inch pin versus the IQ Tour and the VIP having 4.5-inch pins. So all pin up though. So pretty similar in that aspect, but we did see a distinct difference in all three bowling balls. If you take the IQ Tour Emerald up against the Trend, you would see a distinct difference between those two. I think the closest, if we were to mix the IQ Tour Pearl with the Trend, you would then have a VIP, in my belief. I think that's kind of how it goes. And the reason why I say that is because the Emerald was clean and whippy down lane, so it read the middle of the lane, but it was strong down lane. The Trend was clean, didn't really read the middle of the lane very well, and was rounded down lane, more curvy down lane. And then the VIP itself was clean in the front, it read the middle of the lane, and was curvy down lane. So it didn't whip down lane. You saw the whip out of the Emerald, and then you saw the curve out of the Trend, but the Emerald saw the middle of the lane better. So like I said, you take the down lane motion of the Trend and give it to the IQ Tour Emerald, and then that gives you a VIP, in my opinion. So I threw some shots, playing a little bit straighter. We threw a couple playing, that 8, 9, 10 range, and then we threw some getting in that 15 and then 20, and then we just kept going left. And the spots that you really saw the difference were the middle of the lane. Now, the VIP, I think, in my opinion, dominated both the Trend and the IQ Tour Emerald in that middle part of the lane, simply because it read the middle part of the lane, because it actually read that 30-foot range and tried to slow down a little bit and start to pick up. Whereas the IQ Tour Pearl, it tried to read that as well, but it was too strong down lane. It would whip sometimes down lane. So, and then the Trend was just too clean. It really didn't try to read that middle part of the lane very well at all. And it was too rounded down lane, so you saw either flat 10 or wrap 10 in that middle part of the lane. So the Trend for me really wants to see either straight angles playing up the lane, in that 8, 9, 10 range. That's where it was better than the VIP. And then it was better than the VIP when I got in front of the ball return and I could tighten my angles up. But everything in between there, the VIP pretty much dominated. And then kind of the same went for the IQ2 Pearl. I think the IQ2 Pearl did a little bit better job than what the Trend did. But overall, I mean, I still have to give the heads up to the VIP. And I know people are going to say, well, that's just because you have a special going on. No, anybody that knows me knows I'm going to be completely honest with you as far as ball reaction goes and with these reviews, because I don't really have a reason to lie. I don't, you know, I'm not on staff with anybody. I don't have a reason to tell you that one ball is better than the other. I don't make any money off of selling these bowling balls. So does it benefit the Epilepsy Foundation? Sure, but even if the ball was junk, I'm going to tell you to go buy it anyway because it benefits the epilepsy. But I would tell you if the ball was junk. That's just how I am. You know, so anybody that's been following me or knows my reviews knows exactly how I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you what they're good for. I'm never going to tell you the ball's junk. That's a lie. I won't tell you that there's ever a ball that's junk. What I will tell you is I will tell you that the ball is good for these certain types of conditions, not very good in these certain types of conditions. So I'm going to tell you how they're played out. So for me, let's lay this out. The VIP, I think it's going to be good when I can play left of 15 and right of 30. So anywhere in the middle part of the lane, I think it's going to be good. And it might even be good left of 30 as well. You never know. Depends on the certain situations. But at least here from what I saw, that's what it's good for. The IQ Tour Pearl Emerald is going to be a little bit more situational. I think it's going to be a left of 30 ball or a little bit in the middle of the lane. I don't think it's going to be very good playing straighter because it's too whippy. It's too strong down lane. So I still think my better option is the VIP in the middle of the lane. But then when it comes to the trend, I think the trend is going to be really good playing straighter because it's cleaner and it's rolly and it's more rounded. And then again, I think it's going to be really good playing like fifth arrow and left because it's super clean and I can tighten my angles up and it's still going to roll and go through the pins. So that's kind of where I'm going with that. I don't think the trend's going to be very good in the middle of the lane most times. I think it's going to want either extreme angle, but I think the VIP is going to be the most overall well-rounded bowling ball of them, you know? So looking for ball reaction and stuff, that's kind of what we're looking for. Like, I'm never really looking for that down lane flip. Like, I never really want to see the ball go crazy down lane, or at least very rarely. You know, if I get on a, you know, like a 48-foot pattern or 47-foot pattern, sure, then I'm going to want that ball to be able to pick up down lane like that. So that's when I'm going to use that stronger down lane type motion bowling ball and not so much the early strong, because then you're going to get a lot of deflection because you're going to get the ball to read the front and the middle part too much and you're not going to get it to read the down lane part. So like when you see stuff like Badger or anybody that used to bowl that Bradley tournament where they made it like 55 feet and your ball basically never hooked, your best option was always to use, in my opinion, was always to use a cleaner cover that had a little bit of pop down lane, so that way it would still go through the pins. You just tighten your angles up and you just throw it at the pocket and see if you can get it to tip into the pocket. That's always how it's kind of gone. When you watch the Badger show that Jake Peters won, he won with a Motiv ball. He won with that Red Rampage. And that was the ball of the century for Motiv at that time. Everybody loved that thing. And then they came out with the Venom Shock and some of the other ones, the Octane and stuff like that. So, but that was what he did. He had a shiny Red Rampage, and he was able to just let it tip at the back part of the lane. And he could get it to fall back in the middle part of the lane, and it never overreacted. He could just get it to kind of just fall and then tip in the back and go through the pins. So it worked out really well for him. But that's what I'm always looking for on the longer patterns. I'm generally looking for more of the flip, unless I can't get those balls to read the middle part of the lane. That's always the key. I think that's what most people kind of confuse as, you know, general league bowlers. They're looking at trying to get a ball that they always walk into the pro shop and they say, oh, I want a ball that's clean through the front and flips down lane. You know, long and hard, basically what they say. And it's just because that's what they think is best. They're going to create the best angles. And what they actually mean is, I want a ball that's going to read the middle of the lane and not overreact down lane. They see it the opposite. That at least that's how I've always seen it, and that's how it's always been. That's my opinion on it anyway. So I'm always looking for, no matter what pattern I'm bowling on, I want that ball to read the middle part of the lane, and then I want to be able to control what it does on the back part of the lane. So if I have to manipulate my hand to get it to do something more down lane, I'll do that. But if it's not reading that middle part of the lane and it's super clean or too early, then I'm in trouble. If my ball's hooking at my feet and then it's just kind of falling back the rest of the way and almost looking like it's bailing and not doing anything down lane, that's when I'm in trouble, and I need to find something a little bit cleaner, but not too clean to where it's not going to read the middle. That's why that event that I won using that Bloody Ocean, that's why I was able to find a win there, is because early on in that tournament, all I had was early hook, and I was trying to force the ball to get to the right, and when I forced it, it never hooked down lane. So I had problems there. And I finally got a clue when I went to an afterburner that was much cleaner, but it was too clean. It was much cleaner. It gave me that 200 look where I could shoot 200, but it wasn't quite right. And so I'm like, okay, I need something that's clean like this, but it's still going to read the middle of the lane. So I need something a pinch stronger. That's when I grabbed that Bloody Ocean, and it was lights out from there. From there on, it looked really good, and I was in good shape. So keep that in mind when you're going and you're actually looking for ball motion. That's kind of what we're trying to find. We're not looking for down lane snap. We're looking for not early hook, but mid-range, trying to get the ball to hook, 10 or 15 feet past the arrows and start its motion, and then just continue through the pins from there. And then you can kind of use different hand positions to manipulate it a little bit from here and there. So pay attention to these types of things. I just kind of wanted to real quick talk about these bowling balls that we just reviewed, and kind of give you some heads up on the podcast and on YouTube, what I saw out of them, when I was throwing them myself. So, and I'm going to do this a little bit more often, give you a little bit more of a listen into, what I'm seeing, what I'm trying to accomplish, and all that stuff. So for those of you that care to listen, thank you, appreciate it. For those of you that don't care, you don't have to listen. But I'm going to put this out there for the people who do want to listen, who do want to learn a little bit based on, the mistakes that I make and the victories that I have. So that's all I got for you today. But anyway, make sure to head over to bowlerx.com, get all your stuff today. Remember, go pick yourself up a VIP, and let's help out the Epilepsy Foundation as much as we can. But for today's LTC Bowling Show, I'm out of here, and we will see you guys again next time. Take care.